attitude, who might be aggressive or assertive or whatever you might consider these negative things about black women, does not negate her beauty. It does not negate her beauty. So all these stereotypes that Japanese people have been taught about black people and about black women in particular, does that negate our beauty? And are we all the same? Are all black women the same? Was there one pattern made and all black women were cut from that? Not all black women are the same. And even the ones who are aggressive, like myself, are still beautiful and are still lovable and desirable. Now, let's address the inability to date in Japan. It is extremely difficult for a black woman to date in Japan. Extremely difficult. Yes, you might find somebody who wants to date you, and that is very rare. But when you do find somebody who wants to date you, oftentimes they want to date you if you can pass as white. They want to date you, but you have to tone down your blackness. You have to tone down who you are. Now, a lot of the comments that were said about Find Your Love in Japan's video, they were very gentle, saying, oh, he doesn't know, and he doesn't understand race, and he doesn't understand. I'm sorry, if you do not understand the topic, if you do not understand an issue, if you have no sense of what is going on in a community, please do not speak on the topic, do not speak on the issue, do not speak for that community. If you do not know what you're talking about, there's a very, very, very big possibility that what you need to do is to shut up. I'm just saying, if you don't know what you're talking about, zip it. I will not be gentle and kind and understanding because you spoke out of ignorance. When you are ignorant, be quiet. This is not your place to speak. Okay? All right. Another comment that I want to address was somebody saying, the issue was that he didn't pick equally beautiful women. I'm just going to translate that into modern language. One girl was fat and the other was slim, so the fat girl was clearly not as attractive. Excuse all of you, just for a moment. I'm going to buy you a whole auditorium full of seats, and you can have all of them. All these allies who believe that it's okay to fat shame a woman, to say she isn't as beautiful as a slim woman, you are no different from somebody who's saying she's not as beautiful because she's black. It's the same thing. I looked at both the women and I thought they were equally beautiful. I did not expect any difference in the results because I saw that one was black and one was not. Right? So I didn't expect any difference in the results. But for people to say, oh, the reason the results came back the way it did was because they weren't equally beautiful. Are you for real? By whose measure? By what standard? Anyways. So, Find Your Love in Japan. You, my darling, are what I call a culture vulture. Well, I didn't coin the term, but I'll use it. You're a culture vulture. You often speak on black issues, race issues, because it gives you a lot of views, it gives you a lot of likes and a lot of comments, and it boosts your account. It boosts your YouTube account and it makes you famous or popular or whatever it is. You feed off the black culture, but you make no effort to understand the struggles. You make no effort to understand the viewpoint of the black people. You often speak for black women and our desires and or what we should desire, but you make no effort to understand the black women. Your video, the very aim of your video, and not just this video but other videos that I've watched, the aim is to show Japan in the best light possible. That is noble. It's your country, but it's also flawed. It's a flawed thing to do because Japan is not perfect, and unless you can accept the flaws in Japan, it will never change and it will never grow. We were invited here for all the people who say, if you're not happy in Japan and you can't date in Japan, why don't you go home? I was invited here. I am an educated and beautiful black woman who was invited here to teach English. When you invite people to your house, you treat them well. You make preparation for them. Okay? So, since we were invited to your country, I expect you to make allowances and preparations for us. Black women are not an afterthought, and we are not second to any other woman in this world. And please, stop telling black women to do this and do that with their bodies. It's not for you to say, my darling. It truly isn't. And black women, let me say this to you, my beautiful sisters. You are second to no one. You are beautiful. You have black girl magic. You have melanin that they are trying desperately to achieve. Desperately to achieve. Desperately to achieve. Or melanin, or beauty, or charm, or grace, or determination, or ability to rise above everything that has been thrown at us. Our strength, our just approachable loveliness. Do not ever forget, and do not let these good men and these friendly allies rob you of your truth. For one, don't let them rob you of your truth. Don't let them tell you how you should feel and what you are experiencing. You know what you're experiencing. You're not playing the victim. You're not forcing anyone to date you. There's a real issue and it should be addressed in Japan. Find your love in Japan. Get another topic. Leave black people out of your mouth. Just leave us. Leave us out your mouth. Get something else to talk about. We are not your little puppet, and we will not be tap dancing for you and your views.